Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you yet again with another weekly episode, and it's meat week of the month, which means I'm going to show you everything I got at my local Diecast meet. And this one was a really good one and a really fun one. Might as well just start out with it. There's a gentleman on Instagram, HWS_Duke of Diecast. I'll try to put that in the description of this video so you can go give him a follow. Anyway, he's a gentleman from Illinois, Chicago area, and he had messaged me and said, hey, I want to, when's your next local meet? I want to try to make it up, check it out, and chat with you, and I got some cars for you. I'm like, seriously? That'd be sweet. So, yeah, and it just happened to be this last week, and he came up, super cool dude, Bobby. It was really nice meeting you, really nice talking to you, and he just blew me away because he gave me 2 jammers with the cars. Okay. A lot of these are Matchbox cars, and he said, here's some Matchbox for you. Maybe you can carry on with the Matchbox, a couple Matchbox Monday episodes. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to exactly do that. These are really cool, though. So 2 jammers full of cars. I might pick out a couple of cars from here that are not Matchbox and maybe show these in the second segment of the video, since some of the stuff here that I got from the meet, I'm not necessarily going to open. They're going to be reserved for 10 Car Tuesday episodes. So there's a couple of cars in here, and maybe I'll just grab those out really quick. There's a couple Johnny Lightnings in here, and maybe I should just grab out all the Johnny Lightnings. I'm gonna do that real quick. I've got some cool ones. I gotta separate the ones that I have doubles of too, because the ones I have doubles I'm not gonna hang on to. Probably I'll end up forwarding or trading or doing something with them. But just blown away by that REOK. Just really sweet. So I'm just grabbing out all those real quick. I think they're all basically on one side here. This is cool. This is a Racing Champions. I love this casting, actually. I don't think I've got this color either. I'm looking up, and yeah, I don't think I've ever got the yellow one. Let's see here. Is this a Matchbox? No, this is a Majorette. It's a Majorette Porsche. Pull that one out. What is this? That's a Matchbox. I'm just taking a peek in here. I suppose I don't need to do that in video. I'll go ahead and pull some of those cars out. We'll roll them by the camera in the next segment. And then he gave me this. This thing is really cool. I may just do an episode just looking through this book. Just to kind of page through. It's really neat. It's Universal's Matchbox Toys, the Universal Years, 1982 to 1992. This definitely would have been a sweet resource to have throughout my Matchbox Monday episodes, just because that's kind of the wheelhouse of, you know, that, and maybe a little bit before is what the vehicles were that I was showing, the 82 year, like 82s, early 80s stuff. So anyway, that was really cool, and it was really awesome to meet you. It was great chatting with you for a while. It was just overall, it was a really good meet. All right, so then I got a couple of Johnny Lightning Beetles from Dano, who is Roverland, the Roverland channel all about diecast Land Rovers. He just gave these to me for nothing. They're just, some of these are kind of cool. I don't know if these came in like a 5-pack or something, but there's a couple that I didn't have. I didn't have this one in blue. It's pretty cool. I didn't have this one either. This one's got kind of a jacked up back axle, but I can probably actually fix that. And then this one's like got some weird dirtiness to it. I'm not sure where he picks these up, but he picked them up and he just gave them to me. He's like, here's some Johnny Lightning Beetles you might want. So that was pretty cool too. I picked up this for $1, flat out 442. I love this casting for whatever reason, and I kind of grab them in any condition for like $1 or so. As long as they're intact and they're not like dented or bent or crushed or anything like that, I'll grab them just for the future prospect that I might make a custom someday. So that was that stuff. My buddies SC Diecast were there, and they REOK'd me 2 Tokyo Torque cars. I just picked them up on the table, and I'm like, I'm just looking at them. And I was like, I don't know if I should grab these or not. I have the Datsun 510, and it's the 4-door Datsun, so it is the newer casting. And I don't know, I was just debating on whether or not to grab them. And he's like, just take them. You can have it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So they hooked me up with that, and then I did buy a couple cars from them. I bought this 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS 454. This is a hobby exclusive. I liked it because it basically it's stock, except for it's got like drag tires in the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I picked up this 69 Dodge Charger Daytona. And the only reason why I picked this one up is I do have an example of this casting, but the one I've got is not very stock looking, and I thought this was a nice, more stock looking color. So I picked it up. So that was really cool. In other news from them, I also picked up 25 jammers. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say jammer, it's one of these cases. I picked up 25 empty jammers. They hooked me up with a super deal on them. They had them, they buy collections. They're a hobby dealer, but they also buy collections, like a traditional, reseller of Hot Wheels. They go ahead and they buy collections and they sell them, and they accumulate sometimes cases of stuff. So they had a bunch of jammers or creative options, thread organizers, and they hooked me up with them for cheap. So I got a pile of them. They're all empty over there, but it's amazing because now I'm going to have a lot more storage room for loose cars, which is fantastic. So you can fit 40 cars in a case. I got 25 cases. You guys can do the math on that. All right. Then, from another seller at the event, I forget his name, but he usually has cool stuff and he has cool deals. These were all half off. And these are this is a Hot Wheels 100%. So I got this really cool Dodge, and it's just really awesome looking. This is a really cool looking thing. So I got it for actually just $7, and I thought that was a really good deal on this. This we will take a look at in the second segment, and then this he had half off as well. So I got this one for I think it was like $7 as well. This 1965 Shelby GT 350. Just a beautiful looking Hot Wheels 100%. There's some of those Hot Wheels 100% castings that actually look really good. And it's kind of sad actually that they completely kind of killed this line. And because there were some really cool cars. I mean, not all of them were great. Not all of them were very exciting, but there were some castings that they did an amazing job on. And those two look really good. So we'll take a look at those. And then from Josh Roche, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but I apologize. He's a guy that also buys collections and stuff like that. When he comes across stuff he knows I'd like, he'll show it to me. These were, the rest of this stuff actually I got from him, including these. These are pavement pounders, kind of goofy set from Hot Wheels. The reason why I got this was for the Ferrari right here. So that Ferrari I do not have, and then I thought I didn't have this one, but it turns out I actually do. So I actually do have this silver Ferrari. So this will end up getting resold or something, but I did already have it, so I technically do not need this one. So anyway, some of these cars were exclusive to these pavement pounders, and they're tough to find kind of because there's just not that many of these around. They're kind of harder to come by. So I got those two. So that's pretty cool. And then none of these other cars I'm going to open, but they're all really neat. These are older Greenlight cars, and I got a really good deal on these too from that same seller. So whoever he bought this collection from or where he got these cars must have been a Mopar fan, because these are all Mopars. And there's actually, now that I'm looking at it, there's 5 different versions of basically the same casting, or 4 different versions of the same casting. So we've got The 1970 and 1968, both Plymouth Roadrunner. This is Muscle Car Garage Hobby Collection. I think these all have green posts, so they're going to be older. This has a copyright date of 2008. It's a really nice looking car. These are going to be a sweet time car Tuesday when I eventually do one on Greenlight. The 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner and the Muscle Car Garage Stock and Custom Series 5. So that's copyright date 2007. Again, with green posts. This 1969 Plymouth GTX, which is the same tooling right there. That's from Muscle Car Garage Series 7. Copyright date 2008. These older Greenlights, I'm telling you, are really cool. This is another older one too, Greenlight SE County Roads, 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. So this is the convertible version of that casting. This has a copyright date of 2008. So it's cool because these are already 10 years old. And they're all like the green post Greenlights. I mean, when these were a little bit more limited edition. And I don't know. I like them. I don't know. I like it. I'm on a Greenlight kick lately, and honestly, it's Diecastrum's fault. So check out his YouTube channel, by the way, if you have not. Him and I are becoming good friends, and I've explained already that I'm hubbing for him, which means he lives in Romania. He's getting stuff shipped to me so I can consolidate a shipment and send it to him, which really saves him money, which makes sense. It's good. It's good for him. It's cool for me too because, you know, obviously he's hooking me up with some really cool diecast. If you've seen a few weeks back the box that he sent me, that was absolutely insane. So the other benefit for me too, besides, you know, just having another friend in diecast, is that he's been providing me with some channel content. So if you watched this last week's Tokyo Torque unboxing with 2 cases, both of those cases came from him. He ordered them, and I've got a bunch more coming. There actually might be a video out before this video comes out. I've got actually, I think, 6 more cases of cars that I can unbox for Greenlight. And it's stuff that I necessarily wouldn't buy a sealed case of, but it's cool to be able to open it on the channel, and he can't get it shipped to him in that large format because I'm cutting basically all the cards. They're essentially going to be loose when I ship them to him. So he's like, yeah, go ahead, unbox them on your channel. Super cool dude. All right, anyway, this one here, 1970 Dodge Charger. This is a great version of this car. It looks awesome. This is the hobby collection. This came with a little tool thing here. I think these all came with something. Yeah, this one came with like a little crawler. So that's neat. And then this one looks really nice too. This is from the Stock and Custom Series, the Custom 2006 Dodge Challenger Concept. It's a pretty color. That's a cool one too. I've actually got quite a few versions of this casting actually. It's actually a really nice casting. And then the 1971 Dodge Charger RT. Excuse me. This was a casting that I did not have up until now. Definitely not. I mean, as far as Dodge Chargers go, this body shape is weird to me. I don't know. It looks okay. This is copyright date 2008, by the way, and this one's 2007. It looks okay. It's not great. It's kind of a weird looking body style. I'm not sure I really like it, but needed examples of this casting. Why not get 2 of them? I got one in gold, and then I got one, the RT version, that's got the wing. So pretty cool. So we will open up all that Greenlight stuff eventually. It's not going to get opened up right now. I'm going to pick out a few things though to open up now. I'm probably going to look at that Chevelle, that Greenlight Chevelle. We're going to definitely look at these 100% castings and some other stuff here. So keep her tuned. Okay, so let's roll through some of these loose cars first. We'll start with this little Olds 442. Yeah, she's beat up. I've got some pretty mint examples of this car. I just love this casting. It's just a fantastically done casting by Hot Wheels. It's a classic. It's old. It looks awesome, and it makes really cool customs. So I did send one of these to Diecast Show Customs. Really cool to see if he actually does something with it. So I would be excited about that to see what you do. So if you're watching this video, dude, do something with it. I think it would be really cool just to see what you do. So that's that one. Going on to the stuff from my buddy Bobby HWS underscore Duke Diecast. So here's that Majorette Porsche. This one's pretty neat. I don't know where this one came from. If this came from, like, I know a while back you were able to find like multi-packs of Majorette before the Toys R Us thing at like TJ Maxx's and stuff like that. I think it was. And I think this came out of one of those multi-packs. That's what I'm thinking. But a basic Majorette, there's no suspension, no lens detail or anything like that, but a nice looking Porsche casting. So thank you very much for that. And let's see here, Johnny Lightning Zingers. You either love them or you hate them. I'm kind of indifferent about them. I think they're kind of cool. I mean, definitely they're goofy looking. They've got huge blown motors. They're giant. They're just kind of wild looking. The kind of Spectraflame-ish kind of mirrored finish paint on these things is pretty awesome. That looks pretty cool. I don't know what series these would have came from. I don't think these are... maybe they are. I don't know for sure. If these were round 2 versions of these cars that just more recently came out. I'm really not sure. I don't buy a ton of Johnny Lightning anymore just because I have a ton of it. This Nova is pretty cool too. I think I have the orange one already, but I did not have the blue one. This is a round 2 release. I think this is one of the original Street Freaks releases that they came out with round 2 at the helm of Johnny Lightning. Kind of cool. So those are the Zingers. This was also one of the first releases of Street Freaks when they started releasing Street Freaks again for Johnny Lightning for round 2. This one's a cool casting, I think. I think this looks pretty nice. I think I have one version of this car. I don't know if it's this one or not. So some of these I got to look back and find out if I got them or not. And if I do have them, they're just going to end up getting traded or resold or whatever. They're going to end up happening to them. But I guess that's nor here nor there. But yeah, I think I've got one version of this. I don't know if it's either of these colors. This one actually looks really nice with this kind of charcoal gray look with the kind of maroon deep red sides. I think that looks really good. I think this orange one is the one that I have. Pretty sure it is. Could be wrong. There's those, and then this Viper. It's one of the better Johnny Lightning Viper castings. They did a couple of different castings, and this is one of the better ones. This one looks pretty good. It's got rubber tires, metal on metal, fair amount of detail. I think it looks pretty good. It's got a basic kind of livery to it. I could deal without the Viper Club thing on the side, but now I have this. I think I have it. And actually, I think I can see it from here. I think I opened this up on a 10 Car Tuesday Johnny Lightning episode because I remember that Viper Club thing. I'll have to double check. I think I can see it from here, but it's a little bit far away across the room. But yeah, I might have that one already. But it's still really cool. And then we've got a couple of Racing Champions. These are round 2 versions of Racing Champions. The easiest way to tell that is just that production date code right there. And the fact that Racing Champions typically had these mirror finished bases, which actually felt and looked really, really cheap. You can tell like the tooling was used for these new Racing Champions from round 2, but they have a definite like higher quality feel than the older Racing Champion stuff. This casting I don't think I ever picked up back when they re-released it. I think it's got an opening. So it's cool to get an example of it anyway. It's kind of got a bit of a goofy look to it. Super B. This casting, however, I really like. I think it's really cool. And I do have, I think I've got several versions of this GTX. I do not have this one. This is a round 2 release one. And I've got the one in black. I've got the one in black. I've got the one in like a brown. I've got a gold strike of this car. And then I do have one in yellow, but it's the actual Racing Champions version back when, I don't know who it was owned by back then when it originally came out. I know this hood opens, but I'm not going to get it right now. That air intake thing opens too, which is kind of cool. Anyway, it's cool casting. Definitely a cool casting by Racing Champions. Thank you very much for that. And then these 3 Beetles. Gotta fix that back axle. I think I should be able to bend that back easy. I need one of those. They make like that red line wheel bender tool. I think it would be useful on more than just red lines. Might be able to do it. It's like a little hook that goes in there and you can kind of bend the axle back to shape. Should get one of those. Because other than that, this car is mint. In really good shape. So that's a check off of the list for that one. And then this one looks pretty good too. The only thing it's got is what I could only equate to some packaging rub on the top there. Probably take a microfiber cloth and kind of buff that out. I don't think I'd ever get rid of it without maybe some sanding or something, but that's definitely not going to happen. Goofy looking Beetle, but cool to check it out the list. I kind of collect the Johnny Lightning Beetle stuff. So then this one, I don't know if that's going to clean up or not. I don't know what that is. That looks a little hairy. No idea what that is. Some kid obviously played with it and either spilt something on it and then it got left like that. I do not know. I do not know what that is. It's probably soda. It has dried to a complete crust. So, I don't know if that'll clean up or not. Might be worth attempting. So, might get to that eventually. All right, and then next thing we're going to look at, let's look at this really quick. This is that Hot Wheels pavement pounder. So I'm going to open it up here. This one I should have opened up before the start of the video. I'm just going to tear into it because I'm obviously not trying to conserve the packaging at all. Definitely not into the actual truck that's in here. That sound of crinkling plastic. There we go. This is the only thing I wanted from it. There you go. Ferrari 348. You guys want to look at the truck? Look at the truck. There's the truck. Prestige Motorworks. Might be cool to do some weird, like Mad Max-ish kind of custom out of this thing. But not really up my alley. It's heavy though. It's got like this whole front end here. This is metal. Cab is metal. This is a hard plastic. The rest of this, the whole trailer situation is plastic, but this is heavy. Yeah, if these things would fit on a racetrack, they would go real fast. Heavy, and it rolls really good. But this is the car I was after. This is a casting I collect. And this is one. Oddly enough, I didn't even have this one on my list of existing variations of this car. So that's kind of neat, which means I really didn't even know that this existed. In looking at it, it seems a little odd compared to most of the toolings of this car. It's almost like the base is slightly different. Like they did something up front to make this more of a track-friendly base of the car. Gosh, I don't know. I'm going to have to take a look at the other ones. It just seems like the base of the car is slightly different. It's almost like bananaed. So we can make it around a loop. Anyway, it's cool. It's Ferrari 348. Adding it to the collection of Ferrari 348 Hot Wheels, a casting I sort of collect. Well, definitely collect. So that is cool. Sticking with Hot Wheels for a moment, let's take a look at some 100% Hot Wheels. Like I said, these were cool. They came in acrylic cases. I don't know what the price point of these were when they came out. I don't know how expensive they were. Usually when I find them, though, people are selling them for fairly cheap. These screws on the bottom of these are always like torqued in here. So the biggest issue you're going to find with these 100% cars is that people that left them in the packaging left them with this rubber band on here. So this is always going to be the riskiest part of buying one of these cars, is going to be the rubber band. Because what happens is these rubber bands dry rot, and then they leave sometimes some paint residue, or they eat away the paint on the side of the car, the clear coat. This one appears to be a survivor. I don't see any issues with it. Yeah, so it's cool. It's got like a flat black painted base, which looks good. That's pretty cool, man. Love the taillights of that car. It's pretty awesome. Prepared and driven by Dick Landy. So I'm guessing that's real deal. It's got that wedge engine. Dyno-tuned automotive research. Sherman Oaks. That's a nice car. That's a nice premium like casting. So it's got like a plastic bumper in the back here. It's got a plastic piece up front. The headlights are painted on that plastic piece. It's got engine detail. Opening hood. The hood shuts really nice, so that's great. And just overall, it's a nice, clean looking, pretty sweet model for 1/64 scale. Now these 100% Hot Wheels, I don't know if they're like true 1/64 scale or not. I haven't really stacked many of them up to like other brand counterparts that would claim to be 100%. But what I do know is if you see these and they're inexpensive, they're typically pretty high quality, and I've really never picked one up that I was like disappointed with. I mean, that's a pretty good looking premium model. That was definitely good looking. So it's too bad. I don't even know honestly for sure. I have no idea if these were sold in stores. I don't know any of the that's cool. Not returnable if opened. Maybe M2 should put something like that on there. Although people would just heat up the sticker and take it off anyway and still replace the car. So this one. So they came in these big boxes, which, you know, likely is very unnecessary. It doesn't need that. There's a lot of space in the bottom here for nothing. So the packaging's obnoxious. Please complete the information below and return it to us. Your name then will be on file as an official Hot Wheels collector. We're going to collect information on you. Well, we know that's illegal. That's illegal. How long have you been collecting? Should we answer these questions? What scale vehicle? Or my age range? I would be checking that one. How many total cars do you have in your collection? Thousands. How many Hot Wheels vehicles are you on? A bunch. I don't know the number. Which scale vehicles do you collect? Well, definitely 1/64 scale. It's the only thing I collect. I think we're at the 3 to 5 year range. I think I'm in 5 years now. Average, how much do you spend on... No, we're not going to answer that question. Per vehicle... probably not going to answer that question either, just in case my wife watches. And then, where do you buy your vehicles? That looks like all of the above. What other brands do you collect? This will be interesting. No, I don't know really about that one. Know about that one. Don't really know about that one. That one. I know what Barago is, but I don't think they really make much. Ertl. The old Ertl stuff is pretty cool. Racing Champions, definitely. And the others, what types? Ooh, motorcycles, Ferraris. Yeah, Ferraris for sure. Muscle cars, race cars, hot rods. No NASCAR. Custom cars. Some Formula One. Some sports cars, concept cars, trucks, and other. Was this a gift? No. Name of item purchased. 1965 Shelby GT 350, 100% Hot Wheels. Anyway, yeah. Sorry if that was dumb. But I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at that survey. I wonder what they did with all that information. How many of you are on file as an official Hot Wheels collector and filled out that survey and sent that in to Mattel? I'm guessing there's a few of you that watch these videos that did. That is really nice looking. Alright, let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, the screws are in a weird orientation on this car. That's not something I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, and they're actually coming out easy, which is also something that's uncommon. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this rubber band off, and we're just going to hope that there's not any issues with this car. We'll take a blade. Oh, the rubber band's crumbling. That's usually not a good sign. Okay, so it did leave its mark. I can see already. But it doesn't look to be that bad. Whoever came up with the idea of doing this to these cars, shame on you. Alright, so I got the rubber band off. I'm going to take a little, basically these little cotton gloves right here, basically like microfiber cloths. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a rub here. And it looks like we got a survivor. I don't really see where it was, so that's good. So while the hood's open, let's take a look inside. There is some motor detail there. Looks good. Hood shuts pretty good. Man, that's a good looking casting. He had another one in a different color, but the wheels weren't as cool. That's why I picked this one out. Look at that spare in the back. Very nicely detailed on the base. These are screwed together. I think both of these are screwed. Oh, no, this one's actually riveted. This one is screwed together. So if there were issues with it, you'd be able to take it apart probably and fix them. No details, no lenses up front, just a regular paint job up there, paint back there, separate plastic piece for the bumper. The underneath detail is pretty interesting. There are some separate pieces under here that are like part of the motor, like the assembly thing. So that's kind of neat. You can see the transmission there. This is painted, the exhaust is painted, but these other pieces up here are actually, the chrome that you see is actually a plastic piece. I don't know if that motor goes all the way through like that. It does. Wow. So that motor is actually like sitting in here and is suspended up here like you would see in a model kit. So that's a nice detail that you don't see very often, especially from a Hot Wheels car. I think really the only other car you'd see it from is like the Ertl Vintage American Muscle stuff. Very, very cool. This one's got, I think the stance has a little bit of a lean to it, which, like I said, you could probably take it apart and fix it. I don't think I'm going to bother because it's not that bad. And that's a nice looking, impressive model, I must say. So I think if I see any more of these Hot Wheels 100% and they're a cool car that I'm into, I think I might pick them up if I can get them cheap, because this guy was blowing these out kind of half off and he already had decent prices on them. So next meet we got, I might have to hit him up, because I don't think people were really buying those for whatever reason. All right, so lastly, we've got 3 Greenlight cars to take a look at. We're going to take a look at this Chevelle, which I'm just going to quickly chop it open. Ouch. This plastic gets sharp when you cut it. I just stabbed myself in the finger. So there's the Chevelle. I'm going to let you kind of look at that for a second while I cut open the 2 Tokyo Torque cars here. The 2 510s. Looks pretty good from my first little view of it here. I don't know what this little black mark is on the side. It's like a paint crust. So there was some like overspray or something. They sprayed too much paint on. 2501's a number, by the way. It really is kind of meaningless when they do it on a sticker and don't actually print it on the bottom of the car, though. It's a nice, clean-looking version of the car, though, I would say. The wheels aren't as fat on the back as I thought they were going to be. The tooling number of this car is GL105. That's the tooling number. I like the wheels. It's a nice, clean look for the car. I'm going to say that wasn't a bad purchase. And then, it just looks great, though. It does look pretty good. So that's a pretty sweet Greenlight. And then we've got these 2 510s. One in this unrestored race car look, like rally car look, which pretty cool, pretty darn cool. I like when they do that stuff. Let's see the opening head on this. Here's a look at the motor. Decent amount of detail. Got to be careful of these 2 lights here. They're on there pretty good. It feels like they're pretty solid, but it's definitely something that could break off of this casting. So this is the 4-door 510. What tooling number did they give this? 136. It's got the same tooling number, I think, as the 2-door, which makes sense. It's pretty much the same tooling with an added door line. I should have got one of the regular 510s out to look at. What's the number on the bottom of this? 2684, in case you care about that. And then the taxi one. The taxi one's super cool. Nikon Kotsu Group. Japanese taxi. Datsun 510. Both of these are left-hand drive. Motor detail on that one's the same. It's a nice looking car. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, I'm on a Greenlight kick. I really like Greenlight. Yes, they have quality control issues. Like any other diecast company that does premium stuff, there's going to be some quality control issues, and sometimes theirs are pretty bad. However, if you get a chance to, you just got to look at the cars and make sure. That's why it's kind of, when you order them online, and you're not able to look at the specific car that you're actually going to get in your hands, that's where it gets a little weird. But if you're able to, and I'm lucky to have SC Diecast be a local Greenlight distributor, so like when they don't get everything, by the way, but they do get a lot of the stuff, and I kind of just wait for the meets, and that's when I shop them. Kind of, they do post some stuff to their Facebook page, so if you want to follow them on Facebook, and you can, they do put up stuff for pre-order every once in a while, so you can grab stuff that way. Definitely not a bad way to purchase from them. Probably the best actually way for anybody to purchase from them that doesn't live near locally is to go through their Facebook page. But I don't know where was I going with this, but the beauty of it is being able to actually look at these cars in person, and then picking them up and deciding whether or not you want them, because every once in a while you get a bad one. So these are both really good shape. Of course, there's also some issues that you can see that are not necessarily visible right away, like that little paint issue on the side of this car. It's not a huge deal, but somewhat annoying. Pretty cool, though. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching another Diecast Weekly episode, the local meet episode. So we got a lot of cars to go through 10 Car Tuesdays. I've got a ton of Greenlight. Excuse me. I've got a ton of Greenlight. I've got a ton of Johnny Lightning. I've got maybe an Auto World episode coming on. I got a bunch of Hot Wheels coming on. And guess what? I've got a lot of Matchbox that I've saved for 10 Car Tuesdays to wait till Matchbox Mondays were over. So I didn't just leave Matchbox in the dust. All right. So just keep her tuned. And please like, comment, subscribe, all that awesome stuff. And have yourself a great day. Oh, by the way, before I leave too, my Championdjk promo code at Mass Car Displays, Champion20, will still get you 20% off of any Mass Car display for the remainder of the year. So don't forget about that either. Have a good day.